Hey there folks, Rel here. This is your weekly update for Sunday, February 9th, 2014. On Monday, we dropped a little montage, just a handful of little moments, fails, and whatnots that happened somewhat recently in PlanetSide 2. It's more or less a revival of a series that I used to do, daily, then weekly, then not at all. It was called A Moment in PlanetSide 2. A lot of people enjoyed that, and there are plenty of moments in the archives if you're incredibly interested. But nowadays things are less interesting, they're more known, so stumbling across those little moments happens less and less. And because of that, I'm just going to put these sorts of videos out when I gather up enough footage, instead of trying to keep it consistent, trying to do, every day or week or month or whatever. But like I said, if you're interested and haven't seen it yet, the video is called PlanetSide 2 Side Quests Collection 1, and the link is in the description below. On Wednesday, we did some live streaming for the Terran Republic on Waterson, not Matherson like we usually do, and the reason for that is that I'm trying to build up my TR character on Waterson so that I can maybe eventually leave Matherson entirely. It feels like it's been more and more of a Zerg fest over there lately. That could just be my perception based on bad luck or whatever the case. But next week, we'll likely be streaming on the VS side of things on Waterson, and you can check that out at twitch.tv/rel from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time if you're interested. When I live stream, it's completely open for squad mates to join unless I have a special guest, so feel free to join in. Speaking of Zerging though, the second World Domination preseason is upon us, and I hate it. I really do. I feel like it had a lot of potential, but the season has just been implemented without keeping the player psychology in mind, which is really unfortunate. I am not having fun right now a lot of the times, and in case you're curious as to what the World Domination series is, either open your map or press the tab key, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You gather enough points by capturing or defending bases, and then you get rewards. That in itself is fine. The problem, and I'm not going to go on to a huge tangent here, but the problem is that you're incentivizing the wrong actions. Currently, attackers gain more points than defenders, and if population balances were even, this would make sense. With even numbers, defenders usually have the upper hand, which means that defending is easier, which justifies lower point totals. That's fine, I got it, get it, whatever. Problem is that PlanetSide 2 is built around numbers, and the more people you have, the bigger the snowball gets, and the less you have to worry about being challenged by defenders. Because even if the defenders slow you down, you're eventually going to roll right over them. And if you do, let's say if you fight for an hour, until finally the Zerg wins out, you get 0 points for defending that base. Absolutely nothing. Unless you're able to, lose the base a little bit, then reclaim it, then lose it a little bit, then reclaim it. So if you care about the World Domination series, if you care about getting the free stuff, then what you want to do is what's going to give you the most points, in the most reliable way possible. Hence, Zerging. We currently have Zergs just running circles around continents, capturing different bases in an unstoppable horde. And this is on every faction, it's not just the people with the most population. The reason for it is, why fight and lose if you're not going to be rewarded for doing so? And what's worse is that even if you do not care about the WDS, you are stuck in dealing with it because so many other people do. We've basically taken a huge step back and forced everyone to go to ghost capping things again like we were when it was pre-Lattice, because now we actually have a reason to do that again. Until just before WDS went live, the biggest reason we had for playing the game was finding a good fight, and unfortunately this is no longer the case. It's extrinsic versus intrinsic motivation, and it's annoying. If you wanted an extremely quick fix to the WDS, just try switching the values around, attacking versus defending. Reward defenders more. Since we're in a preseason right now and can already tell that the current way of things is extremely destructive to the player experience, change the numbers around. Literally, the values that you're using now, make them the values defenders will receive, and vice versa. I'm not even going to go into why, I'm just going to let you speculate about that for a while. Anyway, those are some extremely abbreviated thoughts, extremely abbreviated thoughts on the current state of things, and as you can probably tell, I am a little bit annoyed. But beyond that, on Saturday, we released a review for the 2 faction-specific SMGs for the new conglomerate. That's the Cyclone and the Blitz. It actually took me a lot longer to put together this video than I thought it was going to, primarily because NC has been chronically overpopulated lately, at least during prime time. and I really don't like playing on the overpopulated faction. So I tried to find times where it was a bit more mild, you know, to grab some footage, but early in the morning, when I do usually have some time, there's rarely a good fight going on. So it was a bit difficult either way. But if you are on the fence about either SMG, do take a look at that and let me know what you think. Lastly, you may have noticed that I have a new logo and outro screen, and on this outro screen you're going to see a patron spotlight area to the top right. And I've been thinking about ways to offer higher tier Patreon rewards. We've been talking about this a lot, and this is one of the things that I've come up with. It'll probably end up being the $15 or $20 tier, as there are a few people who do donate these amounts, but not so many people that I will never be able to spotlight them. So basically, in the outro, I'll be spotlighting a more or less random patron from one of those reward tiers. It's not official yet, but that's just one of the things that I'm tinkering with. I'll update the Patreon page when I am certain. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, Patreon is a way for subscribers to donate to help out the channel, basically allowing me to spend more time on content for all of you by making sure that I don't have to start waiting tables down the street. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've actually done it before, but as you all know, YouTube is something that I'm pretty devoted to, and I want to keep it rolling. The response has been really good so far, and between ad revenue, I'm still nowhere near supporting myself, let alone my family, but it is really cool, a really good step in the right direction. So thank you all very much. And the very last thing that I would like to talk about is a giveaway and or contest thing. A subscriber by the name of ErrorProne has submitted a GameStop $15 station cash card for me to give away. And I want to give a special thank you to him, and because of that we're actually going to be running the contest starting now. What I'd like you to do is take a look at the new logo and then take a look at the gun. That weapon is modeled off of one that is in PlanetSide 2. I took a screenshot of it, I cut it out, then I made some modifications to it. Your challenge is to tell me which weapon it was originally based off of, and the kicker is that you only get 2 chances to guess, and you have to post them in the same comment. The first person who can successfully guess which weapon I originally used for the silhouette will receive the station cash card that ErrorProne donated. I will send you a YouTube message once the right weapon is named, so make sure that your contact lock is off so that I can actually message you. I'll also tweet on Twitter at RelPlays when the contest is over, basically just saying who won. So like I said, you have 2 guesses, have to be in the same comment, and the first person to guess correctly will win. But if you do post more than 1 comment with guesses in it, I am going to disqualify you. Thanks very much, folks. Rel signing off.
Terminal's downstairs fixed.
mag. Watch.
I need ammunition.